welcome back to another episode for Clay Soldiers. Off in the distance, you might see some lights moving around. It's not the latest monster that Notch has said will be in 1.8 possibly. It's the Clay Soldiers. Today we're going to be field testing them as a weapon themselves. Versus the zombie. Very effective. Relentless. They attack. And the reason why, even against multi-zombies, that they're effective is because they attack from underneath. The zombies don't bend over. They have no defense against them. And they cannot move fast enough to get away from them. Very effective as a weapon. Against skeletons, they have the same capacity because the skeletons don't shoot down. They don't know how to engage an enemy from underneath. I found this myself when I attack skeletons either in a dungeon or when they're surrounding a house that I've built, that if you attack them from underneath, they're ineffective. Next test is Companion Cave Explorer. See if they can just follow you around. Unfortunately, you're not their king, so they don't really follow you. They kind of get in your way and don't seem to be a very good companion versus a wolf. Against dungeons, and also as a field test against spiders. In this case, came across a dungeon, setting it up so that the soldiers can go in. First do it again with no equipment, just send in the soldiers, 16 of them by themselves, and they do immediately identify the spider as an enemy and go after it. However, unlike the zombies and the skeletons, the spiders are able to climb up the walls, avoiding direct attacks, and the clay soldiers have no counter for this evasive maneuver. They seem to be looking up at them, wondering how to go after them, which then leaves you to being able to have to go in and take care of the spiders yourselves manually. I did then try and set up a second field test against the spiders with equipment. I gave them some sulfur and sticks so that they could hit and explode when they die versus the spider. Again, sending in 16 of them. They immediately go in and collect. As you can see from the gray spots on them, they've picked up the sulfur. However, again, spiders able to elude them by simply climbing up the walls. I did find that they were hitting the spider more often because now they did have the sticks. But as we'll see in a moment, the big flaw with the sulfur. Not only does it not take out any other spiders, but it takes out most of the clay soldiers, which seems to be a repeat theme whenever you're using the sulfur, because they attack in gangs, and when one of them dies from the sulfur that has sulfur as part of their explosion, takes out 8 or 10 of them, which is a huge percent of their army. Against the creepers. Creepers, it's the same situation. They're excellent against creepers. They attack from underneath. The creepers cannot just, they have one thing that they do. They explode. They're not fast enough to evade them. And so they're very effective as a trap against the creepers. However, as you can see from here, when either they or the creeper explodes, it takes out so many of the clay soldiers. Yes, you can throw clay in there and have them re-heal themselves, but I find that tedious. Went into the nether, obviously ineffective against the Ghast, as they, with the spiders, have no counter to their ability to simply fly away. This tester found myself in this situation was much more dire than I had expected it to be. Usually when I go in, it takes a while to find one. Here, as you can see, I have 4 ghasts trying to exterminate me and my soldier companions. So I eventually had to equip myself with a bow and multi-arrows, and then would move on to my next experiment, which will be against Pigmen, as we'll see here in a moment. Now, Pigmen are normally a neutral monster until you attack them. And so I wanted to see how they would react to them, if they would notice the change. And so here in a moment I will be setting up the Pigmen test, which was not as effective as I'd hoped it would be. Placing 16 of them, and I had to attack the Pigmen because they saw them as neutral. But of course they're very fierce fighters. However, if you'll notice, they are attacking the Pigman. So once he becomes aggressive, they did identify him as an aggressive enemy and attacked him. It's just that they're so fierce and they come at you so strong that it is impossible to use them as a defense against them. And then I wanted to test them against fire. Obviously that one walked right into it. But as a overall, you'll find that the clay soldiers are very effective against zombies, skeletons, and creepers, in the fact that they blow them up from a distance from you. They are not effective against spiders and ghasts, and of course Pigmen. They did identify them as a neutral being until they attacked, and then they went against them. However, I found them very ineffective, as the Pigmen were just too quick and too ferocious. As a companion versus a wolf, I give them thumbs down, because even though they don't need any food, although they can use food, they don't do any hunting, and they won't follow you like the wolf does. The positives are that they're fun to watch. However, the negatives are that there's a lot of prep time. You have to not only put them down after a battle, but before a battle you have to have sticks ready, sulfur, and glow dust, and redstone, and leather. And so as a weapon, I find them as a negative. You're better off with the sword or a bow and arrow. As fun, entertaining, positive. This is Balrog Whisper, and this has been Clay Soldiers field testing. Thank you, and good night.